Sleep is single-handedly the most important aspect when it comes to achieving great health, longevity, and high performance. 8 hours is the fitness industry standard for duration of sleep at night, right? As we all know. And while I somewhat agree with this, the fitness industry yet again has only told you half of the truth. Aiming to get 8 hours of sleep at night is a good goal in terms of quantity, but what matters more than quantity is quality. A night of 6 hours of high quality sleep is definitely better than 9 or 10 hours of poor quality sleep. Now, even I have been there way too many times, right? You go to bed at a good time, 10 or 11 p.m. You wake up around 7 a.m., right? That's a good 8 to 9 hours of sleep right there. But then you still wake up completely exhausted, right? And again, I've been there before. It's extremely aggravating and frustrating. I just wasted my time, it feels like, laying in bed, sleeping for 9 hours when I wake up exhausted, right? When in reality, I could have just slept for 5 hours, gotten to work a little bit faster and a little bit more, and felt the same fatigue. But again, it's because the quality matters more than just focusing on the quantity, right? So yes, they are both important. They go hand in hand, quality and quantity, right? You can't necessarily get great quality of sleep if you're only sleeping 3 hours a night. You still need the quantity as well, but also the quality, most importantly, so that you can receive all of the benefits that deep and REM sleep can give you. Deep sleep is obviously the deepest stage of sleep that you can enter, right? And in this stage is when your body is physically restoring and repairing, getting and building up that energy for the next day. And I'm sure you've also heard of REM sleep, rapid eye movements. That's literally because your eyes are rapidly moving. This is also when you are dreaming the most, right? But during REM sleep, it's more of your mind restoration. So deep is more about that physical restoration and repair. REM sleep is more for your mind. Emotional experiences you've been through are getting processed and your memory is being consolidated in this state of sleep. And when you get 2 hours each in these stages, 2 hours of deep sleep and 2 hours of REM sleep, that is what you call a great night's sleep. Your body is getting repaired. Your mind is getting that restoration, so physically and mentally. Though when you don't get around that 2 hour mark of each sleep stage, this is when you get that hidden cost of poor sleep. So let's start with the first hidden cost of poor sleep that you feel the most, which is your mind. When you don't get enough REM sleep, this messes with your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making, focus, and emotional regulation, right? And again, not enough REM sleep is going to make it so that your prefrontal cortex is running at a reduced capacity. Research in the past has even shown that just a week of poor sleep drops cognitive performance to a level that's comparable to legal impairment, right? Alcohol consumption, use, and again, legal impairment. And so, I mean, you wouldn't walk into an important business meeting or you wouldn't take an important business call over the phone after knocking down 3 alcoholic drinks, right? But you're basically doing the same thing after weeks of broken sleep. And you're going to feel it as reading the same email twice because that comprehension, your mind is just not able to absorb that information. Or a 30-second decision is taking a couple minutes, and just overall being a half a step behind your best version. And also, here's something that nobody else really talks about, right? You can delegate tasks, right? If you're a business owner, you're going to delegate some specific smaller tasks to employees, or maybe you're not even a CEO, right? You're not a business owner, you're a boss in your department, in your business, right? And you're going to delegate some of your tasks to an employee that's under you, right? To make your job easier. You can delegate these tasks, but you can't delegate your own personal judgment. Every night of poor sleep is like a tax that you pay on every decision that you make the next day. So that mental cost that you pay on your cognitive performance is just not worth it to me at all. So now let's move on to the second hidden cost. I just talked about REM sleep, which is all about your mind restoration. Now let's move on to deep sleep, which is again more about that physical restoration. During deep sleep, your body releases the most growth hormone, which is responsible for joint recovery, muscle repair, and just overall body composition. So not enough deep sleep means that all of those workouts that you're doing in the gym or cardio or whatever, all of these exercises and activities that you're doing intensively each week, they're doing more harm than good, right? Because when you're exercising, when you're working out, again, say you're in the gym, you're doing bicep curls, right? You're trying to grow that bicep. in the gym, you're breaking those muscle fibers down. You're not actually growing in the gym. Okay. So you're breaking and causing those micro tears in those muscle fibers. So then when you eat properly and you get the proper sleep, that's when you actually adapt to that stimulus that you're putting in the gym so that you can actually regrow bigger and stronger with those damaged muscle fibers. So hopefully you understand that you're not actually growing in the gym. You're breaking your muscles down, breaking your body down, causing stimulus so that when you sleep, again, when you get the proper nutrition, your body says, okay, we need to repair, we need to prepare for the next time we do an intense workout so that we can be ready for it, so that we don't get broken down. But then, of course, comes in the progressive overload, right? So then you are constantly breaking down your body and it's constantly trying to catch up, regrowing. And so this is why you may be in a plateau with your health and fitness, right? It's not that you're not disciplined enough. It's not that you're not consistent, that you're not putting in the effort. You are putting in the effort every single week. But again, you're not giving your body that time to adapt from all of those inputs, from all of that stimulus. And the second layer to all of this, not getting enough deep sleep also raises the cortisol levels in your body. More cortisol tells your body to store fat around the midsection and causes your body to break down muscle for energy, exactly what you don't want. So that's just the icing on the cake right there, right? Not getting enough sleep, you're not getting the results you want, but you also feel like shit, always stressed out. If you wear a Whoop or a Ring or Apple Watch, whatever fitness tracker, you have it and you wear it consistently, go check your HRV and go check your deep sleep right now, right? That whole section was for you. If you're not getting enough deep sleep, your body will tell you everything that you need to know. You're not getting enough deep sleep. Again, that whole section was for you. The third piece to all of this is the one that you don't actually feel the quickest, right? It's the one that takes the most amount of time, but with due time, it catches up the quickest. And so this one is actually accelerated aging because of this poor sleep. Chronically poor sleep measurably ages you in the long run. It ruins insulin sensitivity, suppresses testosterone, spikes your cortisol like I just talked about, and impairs overall recovery and restoration. And every one of those that I just talked about pushes your metabolic age in the wrong direction. Your birthday age, your chronological age, that's fixed. You can't change that. Every year you get a year older, right? But your metabolic age, this can be reversed or accelerated. It's a dashboard of your current health status. And so a good way to explain this is I'm currently working with a client that is 73 years old chronologically. It's crazy for me to even say that he's 73 because I don't see him as that old, right? He's technically 73, but his metabolic age is 42. Right? Which means, again, his body, he's been on this earth for 73 years, but inside, internally, his metabolic age, his health is allowing him to function as a regular 42-year-old, right? And I'm not going to take 100% credit for dropping his metabolic age by 30 years. He did a lot of that already on his own, right? But when he came to work with me, he just wanted to take his health to that next level. And so we were able to get him down to this now 42 metabolic age, which is insane, but it's not like it was an exotic protocol that got him down this low in terms of his metabolic age, right? Sleep was a huge aspect that we focused on during our work, in addition to everything else, right? The workouts, the nutrition, and more. But sleep was that really big one, again, that we emphasized the most, because you can't out-train or out-discipline a broken recovery system. And please listen to me when I say this. Decline is not inevitable with age, okay? Take that out of your mind. That's just an excuse that people use. Decline with your age is not inevitable, all right? It's only inevitable if you stop taking care of your health. It's the default that will happen if your inputs are broken. So now the fourth cost, which ties all of the three that we just talked about together, which are your hormones. The majority of your testosterone is produced during sleep. And another research study found that a week of poor sleep of around 5 hours a night with men dropped their testosterone levels by 10 to 15%, which is practically aging your hormonal profile by a decade in just 1 week. Testosterone isn't just muscle. It's not just about muscle, right? Testosterone is your drive. It's your edge. It's that aggression when you walk into a room. It's confidence. And when it falls, you don't connect it to sleep. You just feel flatter, unmotivated, or dull, if that makes sense. And meanwhile, cortisol is climbing like I just talked about, right? So while your testosterone is dropping, cortisol is rising at the same time. You feel like shit. You look like shit. You don't know what's going on. You're in this plateau. That's not aging, right? That's your hormonal profile telling you exactly what you're doing wrong with your daily inputs and with your lifestyle. Something needs to change here to reverse those aspects. Rise your testosterone back up, allow you to feel exactly how you know you should feel, as well as drop your cortisol levels so that you're not so stressed, so that you can bring your nervous system out of that sympathetic state, always alert, always on, right? That should only be like 20% of your day. The rest, 80%, should be in a parasympathetic state where your cortisol is dropped, where your heart rate is low, where you can actually think and make sharp decisions based on clarity. So now let's bring this all together and talk about how to fix your sleep quality and quantity so that you can fix your sleep overall and receive all of the benefits like we've been talking about in this whole video. I'm going to rapid fire the 5 fixes that you should start making today, tonight, to start getting the best sleep. The first one, which is the highest ROI change you can make, which is setting a sleep and wake schedule, right? Waking up and going to sleep relatively plus or minus 30 minutes, the same time every single day and night. This is going to set that internal clock in your mind so that it hits 10 p.m. every night. Your mind knows, your body knows, okay, at this time every night we go to sleep, and then at this time we wake up. Fix number 2, caffeine, right? Caffeine can keep you amped up and stay in your system for 5 to 6 plus hours. So the latest that you should be drinking any coffee or any caffeine is 3 p.m. Stop it at least at 3 p.m., but stop it at least at 12 p.m. if you're actually serious about this. But this way you're not blocking your deep sleep, and you can actually break that loop of not being able to fall asleep at night because that caffeine is still in your system. Fix number 3 is setting the proper environment for good sleep, right? It's called good sleep hygiene. No emails, no Slack, no messaging clients or anything work related for the last 60 minutes before sleep, right? Give yourself at least an hour of no work. That's going to activate your mind, right? We want to wind down properly. So no work, set the environment, dim the lights in the bedroom, make it, about 65 degrees, get it cold in there for good testosterone production. Make sure you get some stretching in to relax the muscles, relax your body for better sleep, because that transition into sleep mode is a system, not an accident. 4th fix here, alcohol, right? Client dinners happen, events happen. Try and cap your alcohol consumption at least 9 p.m. The earlier, the better, right? But at least 2 hours before you plan on going to sleep, because alcohol consumption can cut your REM sleep in half. And then the 5th and final fix, track everything. I promise you, your body is going to tell you exactly what you need to hear. Your HRV is going to reflect how stressed you are. So is your resting heart rate. Your VO2 max is going to tell you how primed your nervous system is to handle more stress. And then, of course, your deep sleep and REM sleep, that's telling you everything you need to know about your sleep system, about your sleep routine, your sleep hygiene, and how you take care of your health in every aspect. So again, I truly believe that sleep is the most important aspect of great health, high performance, and longevity compared to anything else, right? Yes, there are so many important factors, but I believe sleep is at that number 1 place. You've been told for decades that 8-hour duration mark of sleep is important, and yes, it is, but what matters more is that quality. What is happening during those hours of sleep? That way you get all of the benefits physically and mentally. You're not paying the tax on your mind. You're not feeling the sluggishness throughout your body. Your metabolic age is actually improving. It's dropping under your chronological age, and your hormones are in check. As always, I hope you learned something very, very important from this video. There was tons of gems, right? So again, hopefully you learned something. And if you want to see exactly where your sleep status is right now with your deep and REM sleep, head to my Instagram, DM me the word sleep, right? And then we can start talking about where your deep and REM sleep is at, what you can fix, and how you can actually start to improve your sleep to receive all of those amazing benefits. So head over to my Instagram, make sure you subscribe for more videos just like this, more value, and I'll see you in the next video.